Well, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck again, and I'm here today with a little firefighter story for you, and I'm going to get around here where I can talk to you. This building in the background here, is a plumbing supply store now, but back when I first moved here 50-some years ago, that used to be the Moose Lodge, the Fraternal Order of Moose. And shortly after I became a firefighter, this has probably been around, I don't know, 72, something like that. We got a call down here one day for smoke in the building. And so we walked in the door and we could smell it, and it smelled like a fluorescent light ballast, and many of you know what that smells like. And so anyway, we checked around, figured out that's what it was. It was one of the lights, fluorescent lights on the ceiling. And so we got up there with a ladder and disconnected it so that but in a part of the process, we told the folks there that we wanted to check in the attic to make sure there was no problem up in the attic above where that light fixture was, because it was pretty hot. And like a lot of those fraternal orders, basically what that was a private bar, and they had a bunch of old guys that kind of hung out there and slowly killing their livers. And so when we went in the back room, and there was a big pull down stairway, one of those attic access stairways in there, and we said that's what we pull that down, we'll check the attic. Well, first time the guys that were there, the employees said, "Oh no, you can't go up there." And we said, "Well, why? We need to check the attic, make sure there's not anything smoldering up there. We don't want to come back 2 hours later with the place on fire." And they, "Oh no, you can't go up there." So we finally convinced them that yeah, we needed to go up there. And so they swore to us to secrecy and told us that we'd go up there, but we don't say anything. So we said, well, we didn't understand what the deal was. We said, okay, that's fine. And we thought maybe they stored dead bodies up there or something. We didn't know. So they pulled the stairway down, and we went up there to check in the attic, and sure enough, they had a little room divided off in the attic up there, and they had a half a dozen slot machines. And the reason why they didn't want us up there is because they had illegal slot machines in the attic. So there wasn't any fire problem, and we kept our word. We never told anybody. And a few years later, they actually moved out of the building and moved to another building, and they're out in Star Valley now. They're still in business. But this building here, let me get back around and show you the building again. This building here sat vacant for a little while, and then there's a store moved in there in probably late 74, early 75. And the store was called Yellowfront. Any of you that lived in the Phoenix area back in that day remember Yellowfront stores. They were kind of the Walmart of their day. They sold a lot of cheap goods, both soft goods and kitchenware and that type of thing. And so I was working for a construction company at the time, and the owner of the construction company, there's only half a dozen of us employees, and the owner of the construction company, he had a heart attack, and so he shut the business down. So it'd been a long, cold winter, and when this store opened, they started advertising for employees, and I decided maybe I'd like to try doing something working inside for a change. And so I went ahead and applied down here, and sure enough, I got hired when we opened the store. And so that was my adventure in retail. Well, I was the volunteer assistant fire chief at the time, and one thing I'll have to say for this outfit, they didn't pay very well, and like a lot of retail stores, it was, wasn't the greatest job in the world, but they were pretty good about letting us go when we had to go on a call, and so I appreciated them for that. And one of the things that Yellowfront had is they had a branch that was called Checker Auto, and it sold auto parts, discount auto parts. And I had auto parts experience, and I was an old gearhead, and so they gave me a nickel an hour raise and made me assistant manager in charge of the auto parts section. And I worked there for up until I got hired full-time by the fire department. So that's a little history of the building. It's a pretty day outside. The weather's been kind of iffy. We had a little rainstorm move through. It's kind of cold, but right now it's pleasant out. As you can see, there's some blue sky and some clouds. And so I'll let you go for now. Like I always tell you, truck with a loud exhaust. Like I always tell you, to be kind to each other, love each other. We'll see you again real soon. And until I talk to you again, peace out.